to the next speaker, that will be Dr. Jainta Samat Buru from Material Nanochemistry Laboratory, Physical Science Division, Institute of Advanced Study in Science and Technology, Paskin Baragung, India. Doctor is going to speak about carbon nanoparticle vesicles, nanocomposites for biomedical applications. Please feel free to start your presentation, Dr. Jainta.
Okay, hello everyone. I'm Jainta Samat Buru from India, and I'll be talking on my topic that is carbon nanoparticle vesicles nanocomposites for biomedical applications. So before going to my talk or my presentations, I want to give some introduction of the places where I belong. So you can see the slides, I think, right?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. So I am from a place called Guwahati. It is in state of Assam, and it is in northern part of India. Okay, you can see the place. So the place is very much, it's famous for one horn rhino. You can see the one horn rhino, which is famous for it. And the world's largest river island is here only. It's called Majuli, and it is placed in our places. So I think it's very much good place. I think people can come to this place after Corona pandemic has gone. So you can see some important things of my places. There is you can see this is a traditional Behudans. It's a cultural active site of India. So you can see this one, the traditional Behudans of Assam. Okay, and you can see some traditional foods of Assam. You can see, and there are some, and most importantly, our place is very much rich in natural resources, and most importantly, the tea garden of Assam is very famous. Apart from them, there are some old architecture. Okay, we have Ahom Kingdom. I think you people may not know, and so these houses are built a long time ago, and it is very much famous here.
Okay, it seems a good place to take holidays.
Yes, yes, this is a very much famous place. Then apart from them, and this is my institute where I actually belong. I am working here as a PhD research scholar, and it is very much prestigious institute in our country. Okay. So let me go to my topic. So initially, I should say something about nanomaterials. What are nanomaterials? And the nanomaterials are substance which has size in the range of 1 to 100 nanometers. These particles or materials are called nanomaterials, and the nanomaterials can be formed in different substances like carbon-based sources, metal-based sources. But here I'll be using carbon-based nanomaterials because they have some advantages like low toxicity, biocompatibility, biodegradability, and environmental friendly. So here we'll avoid metal-based nanoparticles by including carbon-based nanoparticles. And these nanoparticles are divided into various subclasses like 0-dimensional, 1-dimensional, 2-dimensional, and 3-dimensional. For 3-dimensional, you can say bulk materials. And these nanoparticles are widely used in different applications that I already mentioned that my work will be on totally biomedical applications. So I'm here showing some bio-based applications here, drug delivery, bioimaging, photocatalytic applications, biosensors. So thing is that though they are widely used, there is one disadvantage of such nanoparticles. Okay. Especially in case of drug delivery, we can say that those nanoparticles are less widely absorbed by the body cell, and that's why they cannot cross the cell membrane. So the target specific work of such nanoparticles is very much difficult. So for that, I studied a lot for that problem, and finally I found one system called biomimicking system, and this system also shows similar properties or similar applications of nanoparticles. Okay, so these systems are called biomimicking system because they show similar properties of bioentity. That is, that we have some biological entity like cell organelles, I think you know. So these cell organelles or biomaking systems are similar, especially these biomaking systems are called vesicles, and these vesicles can be formed from different materials. Like it can be extracted from bacteria, it can be synthetically prepared from fatty acids, and then lipids, surfactant, polymers. So accordingly, their names their names are liposome, neosome, polymerism, etc. So this vesicle structure is very much peculiar, and you can see this structure is a bilayer, lipid bilayers, and which is similar to our cell membrane. As you know, our cell membrane consists of phospholipid bilayers, like similar to this structure. So I found one system, this vesicle, and this system looks similar to the cell membrane. My target was that this system will help to remove my earlier problem that I faced with the nanoparticles, and so finally I included this system along with my nanoparticle. So you can see that both nanoparticles and these vesicles can load drug, and in literature you can find many examples of such drug loading and other sensing applications from both the systems. So the vesicles can also encapsulate such molecules or drug biomolecules inside their surface or their bilayers, you can see. So I planned that can we connect both the systems to include more compounds or more drug, more biomolecules to the system, and finally also remove the earlier problem that I found or I faced. So finally, I prepared how to go for that. I prepared some carbon nanoparticles, and in my case, I will be using some carbon dot. Okay, carbon dot is a 0-dimensional carbon nanoparticles, and these nanoparticles are highly fluorescent in nature, and that's why I prefer to use these nanoparticles for my applications. And finally, I prepared some vesicles from different starting materials, and finally, I prepared nanoparticles from both the systems. And finally, by their applications. So my first work will be a nanocomposite from graphene quantum dot and oleic acid vesicles for drug delivery. So here, graphene quantum dot, that my earlier speaker already mentioned about graphene quantum dot, how it can be prepared, how is the properties. So I prepared graphene quantum dot from a reported method, using a reported method, and finally we prepared separately oleic acid vesicles. Okay, oleic acid is a fatty acid, as you know, and it is very much biodegradable in nature. So these vesicles was, you can see the structure of the vesicles. Oleic acid vesicle is a bilayer structure. Okay, and it is similar to phospholipid. That is our cell membrane. So finally, I prepared oleic acid vesicles. Then I attached carbon-based nanoparticles. Here, graphene quantum dot is attached to the surface of the vesicles. Okay. Then finally, I used methylene blue as a standard or model drug. You can see model drug, and I finally attached this methylene blue with this composite system, and then I studied their release profile. Here, methylene blue was used as a model drug. So finally, I used pH sensitive drug release system, and you can see that at pH, 2 different pH, and especially at pH 5, this system can release drug, but not at 7.4. And I found that from the comparison, we got that the composite system can load more drug, as well as it can release more drug at pH 5 compared to only pure vesicles. So for that, I prepared oleic acid vesicles. You can see this is the circular structure or the spherical structure. The vesicle structure is a semi-base. And from DLS also you can get similar structures, and the size of the particles was around 250 nanometers. So its potential was -44 MeV. And finally, I also prepared graphene quantum dot from a reported method. It's an acid oxidation method. And finally, you can see the spherical structure of graphene quantum dot. And here also we use graphene nanoplatelets, graphite nanoplatelets. So found this fluorescence in nature. The quantum dots was fluorescent in nature. I found similarly. Then I attached this system, graphene quantum dot and oleic acid vesicles, and so simply mixing and sonivation. And you can see here is the the layer, the upper layer, you can see this is composite system, okay, containing the model drug. But here you can see, while comparing the pure vesicles, there is no such absorption of drug by the vesicles. So the loading was almost 96%, and it was observed through the invisible spectroscopy. And from the spectra, you can see how that black line, you can see from our composite system. And it was almost 96% absorption by the composite compared to only 79% by the pure vesicles. And release was studied at pH, two different pH, 7.4 no release, almost negligible release, and pH 5, it was significant release. And release percentage was also observed, 35, nearly 35%. And one important thing I should say here, that vesicle system was found to release very low amount compared to other system. So, but there's an advantage of this vesicle because it can cross, it can mimic our cell membrane. That's why the importance of this vesicle system is very much important. So my composite system release around 34, 33% release, but only pure vesicles release only 14%. So the system, our nanocomposite, is very much efficient in case of drug release, which is pH dependent. And finally, I found that this efficiency of the system while incorporating carbon-based nanoparticles to the vesicles is enhance their efficiency or their functions. So I thought that if we see other applications also with similar composite systems, then I think we can get some other results, better results. So with that motive, I prepared one plan that I will remove toxin with such nanocomposites by toxin that, as you know, toxin is available in our body, especially uric acid is very much important toxin in our body. So the removal of toxin from our body is very much important and is essential. So I planned that I will use such nanocomposite to remove the toxin from our body. With this, we prepared another vesicles and prepared some palmitic acid. Okay, palmitic acid is also a fatty acid, it's a biodegradable in nature, and one novel carbon-based nanodot, that is prepared from palmitic acid and cholesterol. It's a mixture of carbon dot. You can see this carbon dot was prepared. It is a novel. So I attached these nanoparticles with the vesicles. It was similar to earlier work I prepared and incorporated with my vesicle systems. And finally, uric acid was used to absorb on the surface of the vesicles. And it was observed that the nanocomposite system was very much efficient to absorb the uric acid available in wash solution. So the characterization part of the pure palmitic acid vesicles was here. You can see this is the spherical structure from optical microscope image, and this is a confocal image. Then the novel carbon-based nanoparticles, that is palmitic acid, cholesterol, mixer carbon dot. Okay, this you can see from DLS, you can see the around less than 10 nanometer particles, and from 10 mm also you can see less than 10 nanometer particles, which is very much fluorescent in nature. So finally, I attach the carbon-based nanoparticles with my vesicle systems, and you can see there is a layer in the outside the system which signify the attachment of carbon-based nanoparticles with my pure vesicles. And you can see how I also observe the UV visible spectroscopy based attachment of my carbon dot to the vesicles, and it was observed that significant amount of attachment to the vesicles. Finally, uric acid absorption of a particular concentration was recorded, and it was observed that around 80% of the uric acid was taken by nanocomposite, while only 60% of the pure vesicles was observed. So it can also say that if we include carbon-based nanoparticles to the vesicles, it can load more drug, it can absorb more biomolecules. So finally, it can give better results compared to pure nanoparticles or pure vesicles. So finally, you can say that we have prepared two different carbon nanocomposites using carbon-based nanoparticles and vesicles. And finally, the starting materials of both the systems are very much environmental friendly, biodegradable, and processes of forming aqueous medium. And these two systems are used in different applications, drug delivery and toxin removal. So these are some of my publications, and these are conferences that I attended so far. And this is my group. He's my supervisor, Dr. Devasis Soduri, and they are my groups. So thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Jaenda, for this kind of presentation where you show very interesting hybrid materials of quantum using micelles and quantum dots. Now it's time for questions. I would like to ask all the participants to make questions. Okay, I can start with the question. You showed us that your system can, using the methyl blue, that your system can be triggered at a pH near 5.
Yes, yes.
However, for biological application, it's difficult to find in our body a place where you can get this low pH. How you think that can be useful?
Actually, yes.
To explore.
Yes, my target was that if we use the drug orally, so it will first go to our GI tract, that is gastrointestinal tract. So where the pH is near, it's very much acidic pH. So here itself, if we use my drug, this drug, it can be released here itself, GI tract. Okay. So I think it will not be damaged if we go into the stomach part. So with that motive, we prepared at pH 5. The release was observed at pH 5. It will be released at GI tract itself.
Okay, it will be released in the stomach because of the lower pH.
Yes, if the drug is or the system is going to that stomach part, it may be damaged fully.
But then it's difficult to target the drug to a specific place, because in the stomach all the hybrid system will be maybe release the drug. Okay. Okay. Thank you very much for
one question.
Sure, sure.
Possible one question. Yes.
Yeah, sure.
Yes. It is very interesting presentation. I first time listen about such quantum dots for drug delivery from carbon and graphene. So you have such triplet for these drugs, then around these drugs with use quantum dots, and then you can deliver to the necessary place. How you can do it? You can shortly explain. Can you possible?
Can we repeat the questions?
So you create several quantum dots around some agent which you want to deliver to the place for drug delivery. How it is? I understand you correctly.
Yes, yes. Actually, thing is that the choice of the nanoparticle is very much important for these purposes. Especially the functional group on the surface of the nanoparticles is very much essential for the selection to do the nanocomposite, the formation of nanocomposite with the vesicles. Okay, suppose I have some amine group on the surface of the vesicles, so we should think of some functional group so that it can bind with the amine group of the vesicles. So with this, not all the nanoparticles will attach to the system, and accordingly, after that, consequently, the loading of the drug. So for that also, the functional group is very much important. Not all the nanoparticles will do the same function or will give the efficient work for that.
For instance, you can also use antibodies on the surface of quantum dots in order to induce this target efficiency. That is could be also an option.
Yes, yes.
In Aquocean. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. No, very
Okay.
It is very nice presentation.
Thank you very much. There is more questions?
Thank you. Bye.
Okay, I think not.
Okay.
Thank you again, Dr. Jainta, for this kind of presentation and show us your beautiful place where you are living. I will see you soon there.
I will invite all of you to come after that pandemic has gone. Yeah.
Okay, it will be a pleasure if I have the opportunity. Thank you very much.